Today's 920th day to come here to listen to learn. I'm learning how to support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about distractions. Distractions. Now, a lot of times we live our life and sometimes we say, okay, we do not get the results that we're looking for. Now, sometimes we do pretty good job, we're taking actions, and really we're moving forward, but for some reason we don't get results as fast as I would love to. And a lot of times it happens because we just have some kind of distractions that do not add value to us. Now, why we have those distractions? A lot of times I find that people have, including myself, distractions not just to really live a beautiful life, but just to really distract themselves from negative thoughts. So it means that you don't expect to distract yourself from success. You're just trying to distract yourself from negative thoughts. Maybe something that is happening in your life that you do not like, and you just do not want to think about it. So you start to distract yourself from that by doing the things that is not adding value to you. Now, while you execute those things, when you do those distractions, you feel potentially more happy. And a lot of times what happens is that when we do those distractions for a long time, we start get addicted to those actions, those distractions. We get addicted. But for example, when we play video games, it might be that first time we did for fun, and when we build that routine and do it, or maybe sometimes we did it because we wanted to shut our mind from all the things that really was going on in our life. And because sometimes, and for example, me, when a lot of things was going through, the biggest thing that I used to distract myself is sleep. I think that is not good either, but probably not one of the best of the worst, one of the best of the worst. But still, like, I used to sleep and distract myself from really taking action, because sometimes when you want to solve a problem, you need to solve a problem a head start rather than finding distraction from that. Sometimes it's good, but a lot of times is really taking action rather than really going to distraction, because we need to find distraction that allows us to move us forward. So today we'll focus on the distractions that really is not good for us and distracts us from really taking things happen and making things happen. And tomorrow I'll focus on distractions that really could elevate our game. So let's get started. So the first one is, and a few of them will be very, very clear, because sometimes when we know very bad things, it's very easy to understand that this is bad. Okay, I don't need to do that. But some are a little bit more hard to understand. So first one is very easy to understand, that excessive alcohol consumption will be very bad distraction. Because again, why people drink? That is very important. Because if you drink because you enjoy the moment, maybe that will be not a bad thing. But if you drink because you want to forget, you want to distract yourself from all the thoughts that you have during the day, when you want to really had a bad day and you just want to drink because you want to hide from that pain. That's the thing that people get into addiction when they drink for the wrong reasons. Because when you drink for right reasons, to socialize, that's okay. Like, I'm not a big drinker, but like, I know that the drinking is not bad. I'm not against it. But if you drink for the bad reasons, that is that to forget something, of course, and you get attached to it, because if something happens, you have bad day, bad mood, of course, as you go grab drink, and that's, of course, is excessive alcohol consumption will lead to distraction from achieving your goals. Number two is drug abuse. That's almost the same thing. That means that it might be that you're using some kind of medicine that really stops you from thinking, because not all medicine is bad. I truly believe that as we need to always try to really be natural with whatever we do. And the last measure is some kind of medicine, and sometimes drugs. People that are addicted to things that, and a lot of times that medicine is killing our brains, killing ability to really understand. Because I know I had some kind of medicine, and it used to be like used to be foggy mind after that medicine. I said, and I will never drink medicine again, because I don't want that in my life. I better find some natural way of healing myself rather than really taking medicine. And that's the worst case scenario. Could be, again, drug addiction. It could be people really actually do actual drugs that really takes away. And both alcohol and drugs is not just destroys your day right now. It destroys something as well as another day, because you have a hangover, all those. So that means not just one day, it destroys 2 days. And distracts you from really making things happen and really solving problems in your life. Number three is compulsive gambling. This is terrible. I know there's a lot of people are struggling with some kind of games that is losing money, they're losing later time, and they're losing their families for really. This is part of addiction. That's why there's gambling is one of the probably worst things, because if people are addicted to gambling in all areas of their life, I think that is one of the worst things to really distract yourself, because gambling is one thing that you expect massive results in a short period of time. You expect massive results in a short period of time, and I think that gambling mindset is always bad. I think that we need to understand that we're able to do massive value and get massive results, not massive like short some kind of gamble and you make all the money. And I think that people who really gamble have a shortcut mindset, and if they always get, and if one time they win, and they try to implement that kind of mindset in everything they do. And that's the thing that is worse with the gambling, is that a lot of times we transfer that mindset of gambling to everything we do, because business, you're not able to build a business with a gambling mindset. You need to really take a lot of action, put yourself one step at a time, and really make things happen. Number 4 is watching TV or streaming, or like that means that watching TV. Again, I know that there are a lot of successful people watch TV and they succeed, but they succeeded because they were watching like just once in a while. But if you do on a daily basis watching TV that you do not add value whatsoever and spend hours and hours on TV, that is of course value. That TV is part of the TV shows and potentially movies. Now, again, I watch movies. I watch once in a while, and I truly believe that movies are a great thing to really to inspire yourself, to look for ideas, and because there's amazing movies, people spend enormous amounts of time to create amazing art. So it's great to watch movies. But again, the reason why you watch movies that's probably one of the most important part, because when you want to be inspired and watch a movie, when you want to really recharge, that's great. But if you want to really forget everything around yourself and watch a movie at that moment, that is a massive distraction that is not helping you. Because if you have a massive problem and now you're watching movies all the time and forget about the problem, you never solve it, of course your life will be even more difficult. Number 5 is mindless internet surfing. This is probably everyone already speaking that when you scroll, you get very small dopamine dopamine hit every single time you like move the finger, dopamine. Move the finger, dopamine. That's one of the easiest way to get dopamine in your mind, and when we get addicted to that. For example, I really love motivational stuff. So I get addicted to really scroll and through those motivational videos, and I catch myself that it's not healthy. It's a snack for my mind, but it needs to be really regulated. It must be regulated, because if you watch motivational videos for an hour, even though that you're motivated, what is the reason behind it? What is the reason behind watching motivational videos? Why, when you're already motivated? There's no reason for that. So that means that if you have motivation, do it. Take action. Move forward. Don't watch motivational videos. And I think that I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of watching too much motivational videos because I loved it. And that's, I think that every single person needs to understand why I'm watching those videos. Now, for me, I'm watching motivation videos. Maybe that's the best from the worst again, because sometimes we watch even worse things than that. But again, we need to understand why watching that. Because if you're watching just for 5 minutes to recharge yourself and go back in, sometimes better is just to go outside for a walk rather than really surfing mindlessly through the internet. And I love this saying that one of my coaches said that if you really want to use social media, leave it until you understand why you need to use social media, because you need to have a purpose in social media before you use it. If you don't have a purpose, don't use it. Number 6 is emotional eating. That means that people eat because a lot of times when you eat, you feel calm. So that means if you stress and have a mass anxiety, some people, including myself, sometimes I just love to eat. So that means that they run to food to get that calmness. I think that is, of course, that is not healthy. That's a distraction from really making things happen. Because again, we need to understand that why we eat. Do we eat to really because we need to eat? Or do we eat because we want to feel that feeling of calmness? Because I think that that's again addiction that it happens in the place. That's distraction from really things that really could allow us to feel calm. Because we can potentially eat to feel calm, or be able to really meditate and go for a walk to feel calm. And the decision that we make on a consistent basis is really determined if we're able to achieve the things that we want. And that's why sometimes when we overeat, that's people get even worse body, physical environment in their body, and in internal world gets even worse. So distraction like this is not good for our health, for sure. Easy to understand. Number 7 is self-harm. But self-harm, of course, there's some obvious that people self-harm, and it is not a good thing. But a lot of times, I mention self-harm in an easy way that people really sometimes even forget, because it's self-harm. For example, not sleeping over the night is a self-harm. There's a lot of things that you're able to do, and eating food that is not healthy is a self-harm. Maybe we do not tag that, do not say that, but that is self-harm. Like smoking is self-harm as well. That's what I believe in. Of course, not every single person would agree with me, but smoking, eating any healthy food, not sleeping well, like not exercising, this is a self-harm that sometimes we don't see that, but as it hurts our body. So we need to understand that that is a bad distraction, and we need to understand that we need to take care of that. Number 8 is escapist behaviors. It's interesting that when we excessively daydreaming and really thinking, it dissociates from our environment, and you start really looking to what potential could be in the future. Visualizing is great, but if you start to daydream the things that could never happen, maybe you visualize that you are some kind of super power person who could travel around the world just flying, and I don't know, like this could be that the things that you start to visualize that you never achieve. I think that is where, and excessively, because it's great to visualize the things that could potentially happen in the future, because visualization is a great tool and as affirmation. But if you start to really daydream all day long, think about what could potentially happen in the future without taking action today, that's a massive distraction that holds you back from really taking action and moving forward and achieving that future that you're looking for. So excessive daydreaming, most important, excessive daydreaming that is not visualization is, of course, a massive distraction. Number 9 is toxic relationship. Toxic relationship is probably one of the biggest sometimes distractions as well, because it's very hard to really move forward when you have this toxic relationship as a distraction. Because it might be that you are a positive person, but your relationship is toxic, very toxic. It's not that the person is toxic. A lot of times is that the relationship dynamic is toxic. And this is a massive difference. So it means you don't put a fault on other person, you potentially could put a fault on that dynamic of relationships. It might be that it's not compatible, and that dynamic is very, very bad. So toxic relationship, and the most important, I want to really emphasize that toxic relationship is not that other person is toxic all the times, even though that sometimes could be true, but that toxic communication, toxic dynamic of relationship could be not good for you, and of course, it's massive distraction from the future. And last one, number 10, is that escapist entertainment. So that means entertainment is all the things that it could be going to clubs, going to movies, going somewhere else, like any kind of entertainment that could be just to escape. And again, I want to remind that if cinema, we want to escape what's really actually happening in the world. So what you do, you're trying to find entertainment that could really allow you to escape from your life that potentially you don't like. And that's why people are looking for escape. But if we're able to really escape our life by really taking actions toward changing our life, and sooner or later, we will change our life. I think this is normal to really sometimes not feel fully satisfied with our life, not fully content. Even though that is very nice when you feel fully content about your life and you're really still striving for the better. But if you feel that you don't like something about your life, we're not supposed to try to distract ourselves from that part of life, not escape from that part of life, but really find a way how to really work very hard to overcome whatever it is in your life that you do not like, to make sure that you are pursuing something meaningful. And I think that a lot of times, including myself, I'm not any different. I think that I escaped, I distracted myself, and I think I didn't get as much as I could if I didn't distract myself from really making things happen. So tomorrow we'll focus on really finding distractions that really allows us to elevate ourselves, to really make sure that we're able to pursue something meaningful in life, because I truly believe that every single person is worth it. Every single person is enough, and every single person is unique and special to make things happen. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.